2023 was insane for me when it came to going back and getting some old toys that I really wanted. I had a few kind of missions that I set out to achieve, and I think I achieved a few of them pretty well. This, my friends, is my top 10 pickups of 2023. I know, kind of late. The beginning of the year was kind of busy for me. But we're here with the top 10s of the year, and this one is top 10 pickups. So pickups for me are toys that I got in 2023 that were not released in 2023. So the oldest thing on this list is back from the 80s. So I have a lot of stuff that's, relatively new, 10 years old, 20 years old, nearly 40 years old. It's a very varied list. And what we're looking at here is the KO of the Unique Toys Nero Galvatron. And this crazy awesome KO figure is the honorable mention. It seriously was the honorable mention. This was going to be on the list, but I forgot a figure, shockingly, and it's actually in the top 5, and I almost forgot it, and I had to revise the list. And now, Galvatron here is just an honorable mention. So, I just want to show him off because he's really cool. I probably won't do a review on this. It's kind of... The reason why it was easy to cut off the list was because it was kind of intimidating with how complex it is, and it has some paint scratch issues, and it's really cool. And I also got like a KO of Unique Toys Lockdown, and they're really cool figures, but they're not as impressive to me as like Unique Toys Challenger. And I don't do a lot of third-party stuff. I really do enjoy this toy, especially since it was only like $80. But it's just an honorable mention. So let's get him out of the way and begin the list with number 10. Sorry you're looking at nothing. But number 10 goes to a toy I've just very recently talked about, and that is G1 Ultra Magnus. This was a very recent addition to the list. Unfortunately, it is kind of lower, though. I don't know if it's like a recency bias where it's like, yeah, I got it, it's cool, but I'm still nostalgic over the older stuff. And it's kind of funny because recency bias normally makes something a little bit higher up on the list. I don't know, maybe because I just got it so fresh, I'm not as nostalgic over getting it. But honestly, like, a lot of the toys on this list have like nostalgic memories when it comes to acquiring them. And you might say, how can you be nostalgic over something that happened this year? I'm being pre-nostalgic. I'm pre-ordering my nostalgia because I know years down the road I will be nostalgic over getting some of these toys. So I'm submitting a pre-order on my nostalgia. But this one, G1 Ultra Magnus, is really cool. It was a Christmas gift from my brother, and I really do enjoy it. But there's just 9 other things on the list that just make me a little bit happier that I got this year. Another thing that was kind of recent, number 9, goes to the Age of Extinction Armor Knight Optimus Prime. I love this toy. I really do. And I was really happy to get it because it is a toy that I wanted for nearly a decade. So the fact that, 2024 now is the 10th anniversary of Age of Extinction, and I was able to get this toy along with something else that the video might have already come out on it already, I don't know. Pretty much the 3.0 version of this design. I got something else that just kind of reminisces the years of Age of Extinction and the hype surrounding this new Optimus design and the controversy surrounding it as well. I just really enjoy this toy. I know some people see this and think, oh, it's hot garbage. Me personally, I can look past that and just see a really nice, fun Optimus Prime. So number 9 definitely goes to the Age of Extinction Armor Knight Optimus Prime. The next one is another big boy. We got a lot of big boys on this one. And this is another toy that I actually discussed earlier in the year. This was actually something I got way early in the year. And that is the Mobile Suit Gundam Transformable GP01 Gundam. This is a very large-scale action figure. It's almost like a model kit and an action figure combined, where it has like armor pieces that can be removed, and some things kind of needed to be assembled. I got this thing used, so it was already assembled, but the story behind this, I had the large-scale transforming GP02 Gundam when I was a kid, and it was never complete. I still want to get that one complete someday, but I was very happy to get the GP01 that goes with it, so maybe someday I can have the GP02 and GP01 kind of together in a cool display. I just think that would be really cool. But when I found this at the toy department earlier in the year, and I mean earlier in the year, this was one of my first, pickups, I definitely knew it would be on the list. And one cool thing with my pickups, what I do when I get something very substantial in the year, I put it in a Word document. And I do this with all of my lists. I put it in a Word document, and at the end of the year, I go through that Word document and I kind of pluck out ones that I think might be on the list, ones that I think aren't, ones I'm like, I bold it if it's like, oh, it'll certainly be on the list. That's just my process for making these. Anyways, next up, I'm kind of surprised how low this guy is, given, number one, how much I've wanted it, and number two, how much I spent on it. But it is Jcc2224 Bane. Yes. So one thing that I've really been getting into more this year is Batman. I've been collecting a lot more Batman, not just like Mattel DCUC, but McFarlane, old Kenner stuff, Mattel Hot Wheels. I've been really getting a lot of Batman stuff, even some more Lego Batman stuff. So Jcc Bane was a bit of a grail for me. I really wanted it when I started my DCUC collection a while back. And my voice is slowly going away. I don't know if you can tell. I really need to cough. I'm going to keep that in so you guys understand what it's like filming these videos. Anyways, Jcc Bane. Really cool figure. Definitely cost me a lot of money, but I'm very happy I got it. It just goes great with my DCUC collection. It's Bane. It's one of my favorite Batman villains. It's such an iconic design. And I actually did a poll recently on my channel regarding like the mask design. I really prefer this full-on mask with the eyes and the mouth and nose covered. But a lot of Bane iterations have him with his face nearly exposed. So I find that kind of funny. But yes, a DCUC Bane, definitely worthy of being on the list. And not the last time we will see anything Batman either. Number 6 goes to my favorite of a bit of a sub-collection I started this year, and that is getting more into Movie Masterpiece. I haven't been getting all of them. There goes my throat again. I haven't been getting all of them, and as you can see here, I haven't really been getting a lot of the official ones, but I've been getting more of the Movie 1 Autobots, because I've had the Optimus and Bumblebee for years, and I got MPM Ironhide really cheap at a convention earlier in the year, and it made me decide, you know, now that I have Ironhide, I'm only missing Ratchet and Jazz. So I went and got the KOs of Ratchet and Jazz, and Ratchet was definitely my favorite. Still not the biggest fan of the transformations on these like Movie Masterpiece figures. They're just a little too complex for me to just want to casually pick up and transform. I'll pick up the Studio Series Ratchet if I want to do that. But I really, really love the look of this. I love Ratchet's design from the first few Transformers movies, and I think this figure just captures it so well. It's a bit bulky up here, like that. Like this just should not be here, and I really don't enjoy how kind of loose it is up there. But I really do appreciate the effort they put into, you know, having as little fake parts as possible. I think they did a pretty good job at that. And overall, as a huge fan of the original 2007 movie, I love having this. It feels like such a nice representation, as well as the Jazz and the Ironhide I have. I'm thinking about getting more of the Decepticons. I only have Megatron. I will definitely get Brawl whenever that happens, but it's like I don't have Blackout, Bone Crusher, Starscream, Barricade. It's like, it's a whole commitment to get all the Decepticons from the first movie, so we'll see. But I'm very happy I got the Autobots at least. Alright, we're breaking into the top 5. And number 5 goes to all of the Kenner Batman stuff I got this year. All of it. Even a Toy Biz Batman thing I got. I got the original 89 Toy Biz Batmobile with Batman. But I got so much Kenner Batman stuff this year. I went crazy getting Kenner Batman. A lot of Michael Keaton variants. I got a lot of toys from Batman and Robin. A few from Batman Forever. I just love what Kenner did. I'm a bit of a Kenner fanboy coming from Cincinnati, Ohio. I, really do love the fact that a company from my hometown produced so many awesome Batman and Star Wars toys throughout the years. And the highlight of all of my acquisitions was finally getting the Chrome, I think it was a 2-pack like Cold Night in Gotham City, something like that. The Chrome Arnold Mr. Freeze. Unfortunately, the one I got had a little bit of a loosey-goosey leg. You can see it's kind of loose, and I was able to kind of tighten it, but you can see it's still kind of loose. I don't know if it's like broken or what. I tried unscrewing him, but it just was not cooperating. But I got it so cheap. I found this at the flea market, and when I saw this shiny Chrome Freeze, I was like, oh my gosh, how much is this? And he was like, how much would you offer it for? And I was like, $5. I didn't want to lowball him. But I'm like, hey, I'll throw a $5 at that. And he's like, sold. And when I picked him up, I already removed it, but I realized he had a $10 sticker on his foot, and I'm like, ooh, let's not point that out. But yeah, $10 at the flea market for this, a bit much, but some may even argue even $5's a bit much, but I was so happy to finally get this. I do have the McFarlane Batman and Robin wave. I do. They did not make any lists for 2023 because I got them in 2024, so they likely might in 2024. But stay tuned because I'm actually thinking about making an old versus new, comparing Batman and Robin toys from Kenner and from McFarlane. So stay tuned for that. But I just have to show how much I've loved getting Batman toys this year, especially the ones from Kenner. So number 4 and number 3 were ones I was kind of debating with the order to put them in, and I literally just changed this at the last minute, and I might change my mind on it later down the road. Number 4 goes to Tobot Wild Chief. I absolutely love this toy. This was one of my absolute favorite transforming robot toys of the year, out of the ones I got this year. I think it was released probably a couple years back, but I love Tobot. I think they do such a great job making very nice, clicky robot toys. It's like super solid, super chunky. The joints feel amazing. The paint quality is sublime. And Wild Chief here just spoke to me so much. I've gushed about this toy so many different times, and I just had to one more, I guess. I do want to make it a thing to get a Tobot, at least one every single year. The next Tobot I have my eyes on. I almost said my highs on. The next Tobot I have my sets sight on. I can't talk. The next Tobot I have my sights set on is Paragon. I think that's his name, or Paradon. He's the cool-looking classic car. That's the next one, but a lot of you guys have given me a lot of recommendations for other ones to take a look at, and I definitely will, but I think I'm going to keep it at like one a year. Kind of like a cute little tradition. One new Tobot a year, you know? Well, there is number 4, so I really am not sure if this should be number 4 or number 3. I'm still kind of debating that, but I'm going to keep him at number 4 because the number 3 one made me so happy to finally get this. Genuinely. Number 3 goes to the toy I almost forgot to put on this list somehow. The, what was it called? Cybertron's Most Wanted BotCon Megatron. This is basically the Prime Breakdown mold repainted into Dark of the Moon Megatron. I did a video on this a while back where I kind of like shadowed it, and it was like, no one could guess this Holy Grail Transformers find, because no one could. I gave a hint. No one could guess what it was, because it's a fairly obscure toy. Not a lot of people talk about this one, and I was so happy to get it. And it turns out I bought it from a fan. A fan commented saying, hey, you bought this toy from me. So it was just a fun experience all around finally getting this. I got it with all of his little cute little Arms Micron dudes. I love this mold. I love having it in Dark of the Moon Megatron flavors. And it just made me so happy to get this thing. It genuinely did. I don't know what to tell you, man. It did it for me. It absolutely did it. So there's number 3. And we are down to the top 2. And number 2 may be quite the surprise for many of you. A lot of you probably will not see this one coming. But ever since I started getting into Gunpla around 2016, I've always wanted a kit of this particular Gundam in my collection. And this year I finally got the entry grade Strike Gundam Deactive mode. So when I was a kid, I had the MSIA action figure of Deactive Strike, and I absolutely loved the color scheme. I absolutely adored it. I do think my MSIA figure was leaned a little bit more on the blues, and this one's kind of a little bit more lavendery, but it still just clicks in my brain, and I see it, and I'm like, this was my childhood Gundam figure. And the fact that this entry grade Strike is such a solid kit, I absolutely adore it. I also got it with some bath bombs I have yet to use. I got like a bath bomb with it. Whenever I use that, it'll like fizzle out and it'll be a little model kit I can build inside it. So that's really cute. But I seriously kept this figure by my desk for over half of a year after I got it. Seriously. Over half a year, I kept this by my desk. This is the toy that stayed by my desk longer than any other this year. I built several other model kits that came and went on, like, going onto my shelf while this guy still stayed at the desk. And honestly, I might put him back at the desk. I don't know. He'll probably end up going back on the desk at some point. I'm just so happy to have this guy. It just makes my soul so happy. I'm happy that Gundam and Batman got a couple representations on this list. But number one, you could probably guess what it might be. You might be able to guess. You might have noticed I saved a little bit of a hollow spot in the back. You might have an idea of what it might be. You might be able to guess if you followed my channel and kept up with my whole Prime for a Prime thing I just started. My number one pickup was 30 DLX Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime. The Optimus Prime sweep is real. Absolutely real. This toy just blew me away this year. I was really debating getting it when it first came out, because I already had the movie Masterpiece one, and I was thinking I really don't need this one because it doesn't transform, but it does look really nice, and I didn't really have any experience with 30 at the time, and I ended up getting the 30 DLX Soundwave a little while ago, and I loved it, and I was thinking maybe I should get that 2007 Optimus. I really like that design. I love that design. It's my favorite Optimus Prime design. Either that or TF Prime, which if you've seen my robot list, wonder how that one ended up. So I finally decided to get this because they reissued it, and I got a lot of money from my Protoform Optimus Prime YouTube short. So from that, I decided to kind of treat myself, and I got the 30 DLX Optimus, and I absolutely love it. So I need to address the elephant in the room. There is a very Kaminoan duplicate armored space war conflict hole on this list. There was no Star Wars with this year's top 10 pickups. None. Why is that? I've already got everything. I've already got freaking everything I want, pretty much. And the few older Star Wars things I get are like not a big deal. They really aren't. Maybe next year I might have like a Slave 1 on the list, because I still need one of those, and that's a goal to get this coming year. But when it comes to Star Wars toys, I pretty much have it all, especially with Clone Troopers. It's like, oh wow, I've got, you know, another of the same Clone Trooper. That's going to be on the list. No, it's not. It's not. I keep up with Black Series clones, so any of those are on like the newer lists. And when it comes to pickups, there just wasn't really anything. There really wasn't. Like, when it comes to older Star Wars toys, there really wasn't. A few things that also weren't here. No older Marvel things. Rescue. I did get the Marvel Legends comic book Rescue figure. Actually, at the same time, I picked up the G1 Ultra Magnus at the toy department. I got the Rescue for myself. And I'm talking about the old comic book one, like the Marvel Publishing, like subscription exclusive. I was really happy to get it, but it's not that great of a figure, so it's just, it would be on like the top 15, but I don't know, man. This year was very heavy with me enjoying getting some old robots and getting some old Batman peeps. And I had a blast this year going back and getting some older things that I really felt like I missed out on. I had such a blast. You can see this list is so varied. We have Korean robots from a few years back. We've got movie Masterpiece. We've got decade-old Takara figures, couple-year-old 30, nearly 40-year-old G1s, like 15-year-old DCUCs, Bakhan, Kenner. Such a wide variety. Even a very odd Gundam thing. Very odd. But I had a blast, man. I had such a blast getting random toys this year. And I want to know what your top 10 pickups were. I seriously do. I would love it if every single comment was top 10 pickups. I would prefer it to be things that weren't released in 2023. Save that for the other videos. But hey, if you just want to share like your top 10 things you got, both released and not released in the year, fine with me, man. I'd love to hear it anyway. Alrighty, guys, there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about my list. I got a lot of weird stuff this year. I got a lot of weird stuff, but I'm very happy I did. I had an absolute blast, and I'm already getting some pretty neat things in 2024. The first month has been pretty good to me. I've gotten quite a few cool things. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for watching. Special shout out to channel members, as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Oh, Tobot Wild Chief. He's kind of, yeah, he's still there. Okay, bye.